Dark Knight Light, episode 15. We're coming up, we're starting off with the Gospel of Luke, chapter 15, I believe. 14.
Or a banquet.
14. Chapter 14.
Do not invite your friends or your brothers or your relatives or rich neighbors, lest they also invite you in return and you be repaid. But when you give a feast, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed, because they cannot repay you. For you will be repaid at the resurrection of the just.
When one of those who reclined at table with him heard these things, he said to him,
Blessed is everyone who will eat bread in the kingdom of God.
Fresh bread.
But he said to him,
A man once gave a great banquet and invited many. And at the time for the banquet he sent his servant to say to those who had been invited, Come, for everything is now ready. But they all alike began to make excuses. The first said to him, I have bought a field and I must go out and see it. Please have me excused. And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen and I go to examine them. Please have me excused. And another said, I have married a wife and therefore I cannot come. So the servant came and reported these things to his master. Then the master of the house became angry and said to his servant, Go out quickly to the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in the poor and crippled, and blind and lame. And the servant said, Sir, what you commanded has been done, and still there is room. And the master said to the servant, Go out to the highways and hedges, and compel people to come in, that my house may be filled. For I tell you, none of those men who were invited shall taste my banquet.
And I believe what the Lord is saying there is pretty much, He gave us all this gift, and once people get it, it's kind of like you get a money tree, I share it with anybody. You're like, oh no, I'm good now. And he's just like, well, no, man, I gave you guys all this stuff. I'm enjoying watching what you're all doing. I want you guys to come in and hang out like a good, mommy or daddy would, like a good creator. When it comes to like saying the word father, you can relate it to like creator, shepherd, father, however you want to word it. You want to be a thesaurus. Like I said, I did Matthews Band, Ticking Time Bomb. Now we can argue over the name later. Let's all unite under one.
Now great crowds accompanied him.
But yeah, before I went on a little Spicy McHaggis there, that's pretty much what he was saying. You guys aren't worthy. He's like, I don't even care anymore. With your abracadabra, your little magic show, I showed you how to pull a card out of your sleeve, and now you don't want to come back, so I can show you how to pull a rabbit out of the hat. You're just, you're marveling everybody else. You don't want to come back to the mothership kind of deal. I mean, it's kind of bunk. You teach somebody how to work on a car, and then they rebuild this nice car. They don't keep you in kind of like with Sheldon Cooper there on The Big Bang didn't include Leonard on something, or something went back and forth. I don't know. I've been blind for 4 years. I could throw that out there too, because these eyes have seen a lot of red and a little bit of blue too.
And he turned
just red or blue
and said to them,
If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother,
I'm gonna rewind this one.
If anyone comes to me
rewind twice.
10 seconds.
Invited shall taste my banquet.
Now great crowds accompanied him, and he turned and said to them,
If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother, and wife and children and brothers and sisters,
what did he just say to him?
Yes, and even his own life.
But what did he just say to her? They don't hate me, mommy, or my daddy. What are you away from me? What did he just say? Did they ever say that in church? No, it's honor your mother, honor your fucking father, honor these people, honor your elders. What if they're half as friggin' smart as a friggin' jackass is not? You know what I'm saying? And they pound that into your head, especially in the Roman Catholic Church. Well, honor your mommy and your daddy. They never bring up that parable about the tree. I mean, you say it's just retarded. What if your mom and dad are assholes? You got to honor that. You can spend your whole life honoring that. No. But they don't teach that in church. They teach you what they want to hear. I'll get on to that when I get done with the gospel. Then we get into the dark nightlight.
He cannot be my disciple. Whoever does not bear his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you, desiring to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it. Otherwise, when he has laid a foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, "This man began to build and was not able to finish."
I'm gonna touch on that too. I've been mocked a lot. Everybody's like, "Oh, fraud, blah blah." You keep saying you're gonna see again. I thought on the 31st I was gonna see. I really did. I wrote the song called 3 to 5, like being in prison. Never been in prison, but 3 to 5. I thought on May 30th. Crazy thing. Before a lot of people I trusted with my email account, my password used to be Mayhem1331, and I crashed on May 31st, and I was 31 when I crashed. I think I already touched on all the other ironic things that have happened, but yeah, I thought I was going to see. I thought I was going to see on February 8th for some reason a couple other times. Like I said, shoots and ladders. You know what I'm saying? You got to roll with it because, especially when you can't see, everything I see in a vision that comes true, that's that little breadcrumb leading me back to the gingerbread house. We're not going to talk about gingers. August.
Or what king going out to encounter another king in war
Later.
will not sit down first and deliberate whether he is able with 10,000 to meet him who comes against him with 20,000? And if not, while the other is yet a great way off, he sends a delegation and asks for terms of peace. So therefore, any one of you who does not renounce all that he has cannot be my disciple. Salt is good, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It is of no use either for the soil or for the manure pile. It is thrown away. He who has ears to hear, let him hear.
Pow! Right there. He that has ears to hear. Now, you got to follow me on this one, all right? Because this is where wisdom is known by her children. Ears to hear. If you have one ear, and trust me, I have one leg. Yes, my friend. I show you this now. I made a PBR leg. It's been dented up. It's been dented up a little bit. I got to take it off. I'm sorry, I'm screwing shit. I killed everything. All right, we have some technical difficulties. We're back on action?
Yeah, you're good.
So I got a PBR leg. There aren't many legs, but this one is mine. Boom! So if you have one leg, you can still walk. You know what I'm saying? So what it says, ears to hear. You have to hear with your human ears. Your mommy and daddy gave you a name. You're a human body. You have a spirit inside you. You got to be able to feel it with your spirit. You know what I'm saying? That's why if one person says something to you, it may not register, but if somebody else says it, it will register. Kind of like that one parable when it talks about, I'll turn a father against son, a mother against this, three in the house will be divided. It's funny how if your father or mother that raised you, I don't give a shit if you came from them or not, tell you to do something, you won't listen. You'll be aggravated. Yet if a stranger says the same thing, you'll listen like a little soft puppy. You know, all soft, smelling nice, don't know what's going on, like little baby Jesus.
Luke 15.
Luke. Beer.
Now the tax collectors and sinners were all drawing near to hear him. And the Pharisees and the scribes grumbled, saying,
This man receives sinners and eats with them.
So he told them this parable.
What man of you, having 100 sheep, if he has lost one of them, does not leave the 99 in the open country and go after the one that is lost until he finds it? And when he has found it, he lays it on his shoulders, rejoicing. And when he comes home, he calls together his friends and his neighbors, saying to them, Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep that was lost. Just so, I tell you, there will be more joy in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous persons who need no repentance.
I'm going to touch on that really quick, too. The rejoice by the ones there. It kind of reminds me when I go down sometimes to the bars, I hit it up like Seinfeld. It's like my coffee house. I get there right when it opens. I hang out with all the old, cool, chill, retired farmers in my area. I get out of there before it gets crazy. I got all happy. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, rejoicing. Because there's one there. Sometimes I'm the only one there, but they see that one there. See? And then they join in. We're all happier. Happy.
Or what woman, having 10 silver coins, if she loses one coin, does not light a lamp and sweep the house and seek diligently until she finds it? And when she has found it, she calls together her friends and neighbors, saying, Rejoice with me, for I have found the coin that I had lost.
coin.
Just so, I tell you, there is joy before the angels of God over one sinner who repents.
And he said,
There was a man who had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the share of property that is coming to me. And he divided his property between them. Not many days later, the younger son gathered all he had and took a journey into a far country. And there he squandered his property in reckless living. And when he had spent everything, a severe famine arose in that country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to one of the citizens of that country, who sent him into his fields to feed pigs. And he was longing to be fed with the pods that the pigs ate, and no one gave him anything. But when he came to himself, he said, How many of my father's hired servants have more than enough bread, but I perish here with hunger? I will arise and go to my father, and I will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me as one of your hired servants. And he arose and came to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt compassion, and ran and embraced him and kissed him. And the son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, Bring quickly the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet. And bring the fattened calf and kill it, and let us eat and celebrate. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to celebrate. Now his older son was in the field, and as he came and drew near to the house, he heard music and dancing. And he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. And he said to him, Your brother has come, and your father has killed the fattened calf, because he has received him back safe and sound. But he was angry and refused to go in. His father came out and entreated him. But he answered his father, Look, these many years I have served you, and I never disobeyed your command. Yet you never gave me a young goat that I might celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours came, who has devoured your property with prostitutes, you killed the fattened calf for him. And he said to him, Son, you were always with me, and all that is mine is yours. It was fitting to celebrate and be glad, for this your brother was dead and is alive. He was lost and is found.
Luke.
Now with that one, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to interpret that one. The way I'm looking at it is basically, I've never been a parent. I think I've said before that I feel like a lot of people I deal with, I'm like their father because many reasons they want to be coming to me for help. But if they're fathers, anyways, I'd like to friggin' take the belt and the leg off, maybe. Do what their father should have done years ago. But what I'm looking at that is pretty much he's saying, you know, dude, what would you do if you were a father? Would you be able to friggin' kill your own son, leave him out there in the dark, shut your door? Most people probably can't. When I get into the book of Apocalypse or Revelation, you got the white horse, the red horse, black horse, pale horse. You can look at it as a white rose, red rose, black rose, dead rose. You can look at it as whitewood, redwood, black oak, deadwood. You can look at it a lot of different ways. I like to look at the red and the black like a red oak. The red or a redwood. Redwoods, they got small roots, they got intertwined, they hold each other up. The black is like the truth. There's this guy I worked with. Take it easy on the black, he'd say. But it's a cool dude from the Buffalo. That's the way you gotta look at it. You know, who want to take their son back in? And when it comes to family rivalry and shenanigans, you pretty much watch anything on TV. Sometimes me being blind, I watch that show Friends and I listen to it because it makes me feel better about myself. It does. I don't know what's going on with that in America. Oh,
16.